Please don't make me get entitled, cause this thing I do it better than the rest.
Then we got a few hot topics we talking about.
Before we do that, how's your week been?
Oh, it's been good, bro. It's been good.
Yeah, chilling.
A lot of food eating. I got Miami Spice. You know what I mean? If
we
you guys
did go to
are from
Hell's
Miami,
Kitchen.
you know what I mean? Check out Miami Spice. A lot of great opportunity to catch really good restaurants for a reduced price. You know what I mean? And actually it was dope because we did Hell's Kitchen. It was my first time going to Hell's Kitchen. And that shit was trash.
Yeah, it was not.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I didn't spend $400 and I spent $250 because I would have burned the place down.
I mean, that was my second visit. The first time,
you guys
that
loved
shit was everything was good. This time around, things were a little more bland. Fish a little, burn on the top. They left in the grill too long.
I wanted to go in the kitchen and slap the cook.
But the fucking desserts though.
Desserts were on fire.
Fucking movie.
But like you had the stuff where like with your lady, they brought the lobster and it had shit on it. And then they brought and the lady wanted to
imagine that they brought it again and she just like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah, and then the second time they brought it, it was undercooked.
It was nothing like the first time at all. And I gotta say, because of this experience, I probably will never go again. It's because it's like it's not only the restaurant is expensive, but the trip over there is
it's a little
too
much.
Coming
from where you come from,
No, and not even that. Even in Hialeah, going to Miami, that freaking traffic, the streets there, I hate it. I hate that area around it.
Hialeah, baby, stand up.
But anywho, so we're gonna talk a little bit about Lil Yachty, because I mean, rap is drama. Basically, rap is nothing but drama, because that's what rappers mostly do to get attention. Whenever they're dropping music and shit, they start fake beefs, they have shit going on. So it's hard sometimes to believe what these people are going through is true. Yeah. But
it always feels like it's skits.
But we know that Lil Yachty is having some problems with his podcast partner, which hopefully we never have that kind of. But yeah, they're having issues because I mean, Lil Yachty did try this, man. I feel like in the podcast he pretty much just sunned him. That's what he did. He sunned that boy in front of Key Glock and shit. So I thought that was
just in front of Key Glock, in front of like that.
Well,
how many people view that show? You think it probably like 100,000.
And
more.
you know what I think about that when that happens is in a podcast, right? You record. This is something I spoke about before. Like you record a podcast and then you got the chance to view. And if something you don't like, you could just scrap that episode and be like, nah, I'm not going to put this out for people to start talking shit about us and what's going on with us. But they put it out.
Yeah,
they put it out.
Because
so
I feel like maybe
they want to go viral.
Exactly.
It's going to help their podcast.
Exactly. Who knows?
That's what we need. We need somebody to walk over in here with a gun and we shoot that nigga and we go viral. No.
We don't condone violence. We condone self-defense.
We don't want none of that. Yeah, self-defense. That's
there you
facts.
go.
Facts. But you see, I know myself that I would have felt some type of way if it was me and Yachty was talking to me like that, because he was talking to that boy crazy. I feel
even if it's true what he said, there are certain ways to put things to not make him seem the way he made him seem. You know what I mean? Like he could have said it in another way, like. Instead of like, oh, take me out of the equation, where would you be in your life? He could have been like, oh, like, like what projects have you done and finished on your own that you feel like, that you gives you the how would they say, that gives you the right to speak on this subject the way you're speaking on.
You know what it is at the end of the day is like, let's say Key Glock is talking about something and you are a host and you're just like, being because you're on Key Glock, and Mitch is not really like a rapper or somebody that we know like that. So he could be fanning out a little bit.
Exactly.
And somebody's saying, oh, this and that. He's like, oh, yeah, I agree with that. Y'all just like, bro, what the hell you mean you agree with that? But it's like, damn, bro, can you not do that to me?
I feel like
this dude like that.
I feel like Yachty, like honestly, I honestly also feel like Yachty was out of character there because he should have agreed with him too.
Yachty's been out of character.
Yachty, you're a suburb dude. Like my boy Kodak said, I'm from the suburbs now. I'm a suburban.
That's why him and Drake get along so well.
Yeah, like you from the suburbs, my dog. We all saw you on Vice Land. We saw how you came out. Your mom didn't even want you to rap.
You're a good boy.
Exactly. So you shouldn't be out here saying that you would tell people to commit crimes when you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just because you're part of Q. What is it? the Q?
Quality control.
Quality control. And you got little gangsters or self-proclaimed gangsters around you. Don't mean you can be out here acting up like you one of them, bro. You're not one of them, bro. Come on, man. We all seen Vice Land.
That's what happens. People tend to forget where they come from when they get too popping. You get too popping, you tend to forget. You were not strapped up in the streets doing this and doing that.
I'm not the biggest fan of Yachty, but I like that. I got the walk.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. When Lil Yachty first came out, I was probably one of the biggest haters of him.
Because he
not only that,
a new era,
but it's not only that. Like there's interviews that you can look up where he's disrespecting Biggie.
Oh yeah,
talking about like, I don't listen to that shit, or I don't listen to Tupac and shit like that, and that rubs me the wrong way, bro. Because it's like, nigga, what you talking about? You're in a place where that is something you need to, look up to.
Which goes back to what Tyler the Creator was saying in that last podcast, where he was saying how there's no originality and there's no respect in this new, like, people are not musicians anymore.
But that's why this shit's so watered down and so much terrible music.
Yes,
it's like there's like a 1,000 rappers and maybe 6 of them drop good music. And then
like 1,000
rappers. Let's say more. Let's say there's 1,000 rappers and maybe 50 of them are musicians, and 100 of them are dropping good music. The rest are just dropping shit that sounds like that other guy. So we have some dude that hears Travis Scott, he's like, I'm gonna drop something that sounds very similar to Travis Scott. Oh, we hear Drake, I'm gonna drop something that sounds just like Drake. Oh, Kendrick, well, you can't copy Kendrick, but you know what I mean? Like, it's watered down, bro. That's the problem with the rap game right now. There's so many people wanting to rap. They make it seem like it's so easy, because at the end, what a lot of these dudes are doing is recycling bars. Yeah. You hear a song from somebody else, you take this line, you put it on here, you change it with this little word, AI in the shit.
I feel like the problem is that with this new generation of artists, they've confused inspiration with originality. It's okay to be inspired by another artist. That doesn't mean you have to come out
you can't be exactly
just like them.
Carbon copy of them.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can be inspired by this artist, but yet sound your own. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even if you are, let's say, because it happens to sound, let's say your own sound, what naturally comes out of you, sounds just like this other artist. You need to work on fixing that. That is your job as an artist, to create your own sound.
Right. You got to make your own lane. Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Drinks your Minnesota. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, these rappers, they need to stop just like, oh, just because this sounds good and because you're going to get paid off of this doesn't mean it's going to give you longevity. Doesn't mean it's going to give you, like, the respect in the game that some other people get. You know what I mean? Because, for example, Cordae sounds a lot like J. Cole to me.
Yes.
But he has managed to make it his own. He doesn't talk about what J. Cole talks about. He changes his flow every now and then. His music, it's still the same. It's as inspiring as J. Cole. It has a lot of similar flows, but he's even gone as far as having J. Cole produce music for him. So it's like he
actually has a song coming out with Anderson .Paak that the beat is made by J. Cole.
Yeah,
and I heard a little snippet of it today, and it sounded pretty good.
They do amazing music together. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that duo. That have you ever heard the the one that they're going back and forth? It just it's in the tip of my tongue. That they're going back and forth about women.
With J. Cole?
No, it's him and Anderson .Paak or Anderson .Peck.
I you know what? I seen it, but I don't know what the name of the song is. It's Pac.
It's a dope ass song, bro.
I do remember the song, and
they make great music.
No, and this one sounds pretty good too. The one that's coming up.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to not be a fan of his when he was in that whole YBM or what was it? YMB. When he was part of that group. Because he wasn't always Cordae. He was YBM.
Yeah. No, it's Y. NYW Melly, no. That's a different.
That's a
group.
Different guy, but it was him.
It's the one that has the dude that has YBN.
There you go. When he was part of that whole group, I didn't really feel him.
Well, but that's because he was trying to fit into that group.
Exactly.
And that group was just full of
once he separated himself and he kind of solidified himself as a real musician and somebody who's a lyricist.
Yes, because the moment he took that YBN off, he started popping off more.
Yes. And his music evolved. It turned into something else. And it was very enjoyable.
No, and it's that I feel like I've said before that he's really smart.
He is.
So his lyrics are those that, you got to do a little deeper dive in to understand most things. But we were talking about was how Lil Yachty, though. how I hated him in the beginning, but I've been listening to him this year. I feel like this man's improved a lot.
Yeah,
like he did a song with J. Cole that he didn't do too bad, and of course J. Cole murdered him, but J. Cole and Lil Yachty can't compare them. But then
even though Cole,
then he has that song with Lil Wayne, and I like that song with Lil Wayne and him. And then I just heard a new one that I actually have a reaction coming out too soon, so stick around. With some new rapper I never heard of called VZ, I believe it is, and I really like that song.
No, I really like
doing his thing.
Corday, he's become this year specifically. I started really digging into his music and digging into like his new albums and not new albums, but the latest albums that he's dropped. I love them, bro.
I wouldn't consider them new artists, but they're new to us, kind of, because they grew on us. Because that's like just talking about growing on us. Kodak Black, bro. When Kodak first came out,
I hated him.
No, I could not. Yo, I was telling people, what the fuck, bro? How can you listen to this shit? And then me, after a while, people like, you were talking shit about Kodak. I hear you over there with no flocking.
You know what I mean? The album of Kodak that changed my mind was the one with the red cover that he dropped the testimony and all of that on. That whole album. Yeah. From start to finish was a banger.
I remember you were jamming to that shit for a long time.
That's what changed my mind. That's where he showed me that he can actually drop bars, that he actually has some substance, that he's not just talking about killing people and stuff like that. Like, that's what really turned me on to his music, because before that, it just felt like it was like
surface music. It was like
Florida drill music. You know?
Surface music. Yeah.
It was like Florida drill music. All they want to talk about is being serial killers.
Yeah, serial killer, how they pissed on their ops tombstone and all that shit.
I get it. You can pull a trigger. A lot of people can pull triggers, bro. But show me why I need to listen to your songs.
But that's another thing that's made rap lose some popularity. The drill thing. You're talking about that because at some point these dudes were just non-stop talking about the person they killed yesterday.
Yeah.
And shit. It's like, damn, bro, like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. What the fuck? Like, nigga, keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah.
God damn, snitching ass nigga.
A lot of dry snitching on themselves
niggas
going on.
Be tripping.
A lot of it. That's what happened with this guy, Bobby Shmurda. Dry snitched on the whole crew. Everybody did time.
Yep. At least he ain't snitched though.
When he got arrested,
snitched. He did. He snitched on himself. But that's what all these dumbass rappers be doing, bro.
Yeah, but like you're supposed to know how to talk about things without talking about things. You know what I mean? It's an art, which is I feel like a lot of people just took over their heads. Everybody feels like, I can just get on here and talk about shit that I seen, but the art of it is to talk about it and not expose what's really behind, who's really doing it, who's really around you doing these things. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to talk about it from afar.
We're talking about Lil Johnny yesterday killed Jacob at 5 a.m. in the morning.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're like, bro, are you serious? Now I'm with Lil Johnny at Denny's eating breakfast. Like, come on, nigga. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you putting people's information out there like, that's insane, bro. Insane. But now, going off to something else. You know Dr. Umar, right?
Yes, sir.
So he was in the podcast. He was in the podcast recently, right? And he asked, I think it was, if hip hop. He said actually that hip hop has been more harmful than helpful to the culture.
I can agree with him and disagree in certain ways.
There's a lot to unpack on that.
I would say that it depends on whose hip hop you're listening to. What hip hop artists you're listening to. When you say things like J. Cole, when you think artists like Andre 3000, when you think artists
Logic.
like Kendrick, Logic, when you think artists like even Wale, exactly, Wale. I'll even go as far as Nipsey Hussle. Because Nipsey Hussle, he'd had some gangbanging stuff, but what he was talking about was
but he was pretty much telling niggas to wake up.
Wake up, make your money, get ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really teaching people how to do business. When you think about that side of hip hop, then no, it hasn't done any harm. It's actually done better for them. When you think about finances, all the millionaires, black millionaires that hip hop has created, not just rap.
And not only
artists.
that, then they actually have money to give people jobs. Not only that, a lot of these rappers, once they do make money, they start opening other businesses to try to help their neighborhood.
It's not just rap. Think about it. To make a rap song, it's not just a rapper. It's a rapper, a producer, an engineer.
Right.
So this is, and most of these guys are all of black ethnicity. So when you think about the money that is generated into black lives, generational wealth that is given these men, you can't really say that it's been more harmful than helpful. Now,
there's harm.
There is harm. There's hella harm when it comes to the drill music. I feel like the whole drill music movement, all it did was create.
No, it took shit a step back.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It really
and
did.
you really saw it in the youth. When I was growing up, only certain people were on that gunplay shit.
Yeah.
People would throw hands.
Yeah.
At least where I'm from, when I was growing up, motherfuckers was throwing hands. You had a problem with somebody, you go fight about that shit. And if you got your ass beat, you got your ass beat. Either you got up and you shook his hand, or you got up and told him, yo, the next time I see you, we're throwing hands again. And this is how it's going to go until one of us don't see each other no more.
In my time, it was either hands or they were going to stab your ass.
Yeah, well, that's a little, you're older than me. And that's that's
They
back,
were-
that's
they would've
back
been
in,
stabbing
you know what
niggas.
I mean? That's back on that,
Shank.
that's still, that's harmful. That's harmful. You
I
know what I mean?
know.
But I feel like ever since drill music came out, I see it in the youth. These motherfuckers are serial killers now, and they're proud of this shit.
I mean, King Von is a perfect example of that shit.
and the problem is that they don't realize that the songs that they're putting out there, the little kids are listening to, they think that that's what's cool, that's what makes a man.
Is that,
I
bro?
have to get a gun and I have to have a body to be a man.
I seen drill music videos with 11-year-olds rapping, talking about I caught an op last night and shit. Because these niggas are doing this. They starting this shit early as fuck, my
bro.
nigga.
And then what is
and
that
it's because
gonna
of
lead
that
to?
shit. But I also have to say, getting to the Ullman thing, you see, he's talking about hip hop is the problem. But at the end of the day, when this kind of thing happens, it's like, right, we have a kid making music talking about killing his ops.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a label with billions of dollars coming at them talking about, hey, I'm gonna give you $1 million. Keep making that type of music.
Yep.
And I'm gonna give you another $1 million next year. So
Yep.
what the fuck do these niggas do? They double down on that shit.
course.
You're talking about a fucking 17-year-old, 18-year-old getting offered $1 million. I think to myself, me, a 17, 18-year-old, they tell me I'm gonna give you $1 million. Go rap about this and that. Chances are I probably would have done it.
You don't even gotta be that young. Meek said they did it to him. Meek said he was getting paid
20
extra.
even, 20 years old. Yeah.
He was getting paid extra to make certain type of songs. And when he would try to drop something that was more informative, more conscious, he wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, or they won't sponsor the shit out. They will not endorse your shit for nothing.
They'll shelf it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he would have to either leak it or drop it on somewhere else. So it's like we know that the labels as a whole have this agenda where
Them
they
niggas
want
are
to keep you
demons.
dumb. They want to keep you dumb. They want to keep you killing each other. They want to keep you in jail because we already know it's not something new about the money that these jails generate off free labor. It's basically slavery. You know what I'm saying? So then what do? This music is very influential. I would go as far as saying as hip hop is one of the most listened to genres out there.
The drill?
No, hip hop. Period.
Oh no, hip hop is the most listened to in
Hip-hop,
the United States for sure.
I don't think any other.
It's the most
genre,
popular one, and even though
gets
country
listened to as
music
much.
is catching up again,
It is, but still, I feel
still
like
up there
country music is not as influential to the youth
No.
as hip hop is.
to white folks.
So
man.
then this, even white people love hip hop.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So I
in
feel
reality, the people that listen to it the most are white people because that's the majority at
So
the
I
end.
feel like it's molding the youth to thinking dumb, and then the artists that are trying to mold the youth to think better and to do better kind of get put on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? And they don't.
you know who Lil Mabu is?
Little Mabu, yes,
That's a white boy right there that took advantage of that whole drill movement and just said, hey, I'm a culture vulture. I don't give a fuck what y'all say, and I'm gonna make money off of that shit. And he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Then this is another thing that
Those are my little nephew's
because you see,
favorite
I
rappers.
love hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the fuck I'm doing this for. But I can't stand you fucking rappers. It's like a difference because it's like you niggas just do anything for money. Like Fabio Foreign did a song with this nigga, and we're talking about this dude, a white boy, talking about shooting, op, and all this other nonsense, and then you go and do a song with him. Like, I feel like that's corny. You corny as fuck for that shit. Is my opinion though. But you know, at the end of the day, I understand that all these niggas are about their money.
Yeah,
and
no, but
that's
comes
most
down,
of them, not all of them.
It comes
there's
down
some niggas
to
that
the,
have
it
morals.
comes down to the talk of not all money is good money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to have a certain type of respect for your craft. And a lot of these people don't do it. But why don't they do it? Because I feel like there's this whole like facade where as long as I'm making money, it's cool. I can be a snitch, but if I'm making money, it's cool. I can be a rapist, but if I'm making money, it's cool. I can be fake, but if I'm making money, it's cool. And that's what a lot of these people have built their career on. And then I feel like also it's a responsibility of the fans to call them out on that.
Yep.
I feel like just because you like their music, you're still going to go jam to them even though they do certain things when it shouldn't be that way. Back then, it wasn't that way. Back then, it was harder for people to become established rappers because they were getting put in their place. And people would be like, "Oh, you listen to that person? Oh, hell, nah, don't play that." That shit
But now,
don't get no play
a lot of
around
dudes be getting their 30 minutes of fame and shit, and some be sticking around crazy. Because I mean, like you just mentioned snitching, and that makes me think of the fact, like, look, I think it's crazy, right? When you mention Tekashi 6ix9ine, people, have a like, fuck that snitch ass nigga. But when you mention Gunna, it's not really the same.
It's not.
Which is fucking nuts
It's
to me
not,
because this dude that's in jail, you actually know him. You niggas like his music compared to the dudes that 6ix9ine snitched on, which I'm not saying it was cool that he did it, but them niggas was trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Young Thug put Gunna in the position he's in. And I feel like the fact that the energy towards 6ix9ine is way darker than it is to Gunna is fucking weird.
I was actually making fun of two of my boys because they went to a Gunna concert that was here in Miami. I'm like, you went to that man's concert, bro? Oh, man. Y'all love that snitch ass nigga, don't you? Oh, man.
Because you see, but that's why it brings up to what you had said about some dude does some shit and you should like call him out and be like, hey,
of
what the fuck, you listening to this nigga? Well, people are being told this nigga's a snitch, and they still listen to him. They're like, nah, he makes good music, and that's what's happening.
They're making an excuse.
That's
like,
what happens.
Oh, but he did it because of this, or oh, he did it because of that. I don't want to hear none of that shit. If you are not from the streets and you decided to get into a career that has to do heavily influential by the streets and it has its rules, because it does, don't complain when you have to suffer the consequences. Get what I'm saying? Like, don't get rich off being a gangster, real nigga, and then when you snitch, be like, but I had a reason to.
Yeah.
There is no reason to. That's the downfall of what the life you chose.
And that's another thing you made me think about now all money is good money. See, Kodak did a song with 6ix9ine.
He did.
And people were going at this boy hard because he did a song with 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
But he said, nigga, I got $1 million off of it.
Which it was a lie. There was no receipts for that, and a couple people came out saying that, like, for example, 6ix9ine himself said, I didn't pay him $1 million for the verse.
Huh.
So the only way that could be true is if the label paid him that behind closed doors. 6ix9ine had no.
But that hurt Kodak.
Of course,
doing
it did.
that.
Of course.
But if he would have done the song with Gunna, I don't think it would have hurt him like that. Because look at that, Offset was just performing with Gunna.
Really,
recently.
he was.
Yeah, and nobody saying nothing to. You see, not even you noticed because nobody made a big fuss about the fact that this dude's performing with a dude that snitched on a boy that's supposed to be your friends. Because Offset and Thug are supposed to be friends.
Yeah,
too,
all of them are.
So it's like, see what I'm telling you? These rappers be on some fake ass shit.
Wishy-washy, Mickey Mouse.
Y'all niggas be on some shit.
So that Mickey Mouse, Bobby.
Entonces, so I think we did some good amount of talking there about a bunch of shit.
About the effects of hip hop on the African American community.
Yeah,
and as they say, African American culture. Another thing about the culture thing, I don't feel like just because you're not black, you cannot do hip hop. There's different ways of hip hop. You can be a culture vulture and be good at it, as in like you're showing homage to it. You're doing it respectfully.
But you don't have to be a culture vulture and not be black, like you said. Like, look, Eminem, for example, he's not a culture vulture. Eminem rapped about what he knew, what he went through, and he will also make fun of himself and do all this funny thing.
Yeah.
Then
he made it a
But then you got niggas like the guy I mentioned, Lil Mabu, talking about shooting this, gun that, this and that, and then you know that this boy ain't doing none of that shit. I'm pretty sure well off before he even started this shit. And that's what a culture vulture is right there. Eminem is a different story. Like MGK is a different story because MGK is from Cleveland. I'm sure he been through shit. He came from lower ends. I mean, I don't know much about him, but I feel like that's probably the case. So he's also not really a culture vulture. But Jack Harlow's been accused of it.
Yeah.
Because Jack Harlow is just making music sounding a lot like, he's trying to sound like Drake. Or he's trying to sound like J. Cole. And he's not really doing himself, is what the point is at the end of the day.
I like Jack Harlow because he's not on that tough guy stuff.
No, but Jack Harlow's great. He could rap. But what the thing is, he's just doing general ass music. So he needs to just, go find himself.
I get you. Like, get a body of work where you're going to shine on and actually show people
put some
who
work.
You are.
Like, look, for example, somebody that I couldn't stand before, and I got to say, I feel like he's probably a pretty good rapper, Russ.
Yeah. Russ is a great rapper, bro.
And then Russ is one that's been pushing independence for a minute. Telling rappers, like, wake your asses up. Y'all could be making this money yourself without this nigga. Because, as a matter of fact, he was in the episode of The Breakfast Club before we go. And he was talking about how he funded his own shit by opening a line of credit with a bank.
Okay.
Instead of because perfect thing. So he's talking about how the label tells somebody, "Oh yeah, this is your budget. You got a $50 million budget, which is a humongous budget."
Yes, of course.
And so then you decide, "Oh shit, I got a $50 million budget. Let me go look for a studio that's cheap, so I don't spend all this budget on recording." But then the label tells you, "Nah, we have a studio for you to go to. Go to this one, and that place is charging $5,000 a day for recording." And what you find out that place and the label are cool with each other. They actually have a relationship. So the label's basically just spending their money on another business.
They're recycling the money,
right? And so your budget, the big old budget you thought you had, is not really big. They're controlling your shit. And at the end, when you don't make the money back with the music, that the budget that you spend, they're gonna come for your ass. And that's what happens to a lot of these dudes, man.
It's loan sharking, basically. You know
that's why y'all gotta understand, most of these rappers don't have the money that they be claiming they have.
They don't. And most of
that's all loans from the label, man. And the day that, that's one thing that I like to do this for, is to, people can stop all that fake shit. Because rap is supposed to be real. That's the whole thing about rap. Be a real ass nigga.
That's where it started. That was the meats and potatoes of it.
Right.
But honestly, I feel like when it comes to being independent, I feel like it's the same thing as being an employee and running your own business.
Right.
Not everybody has the discipline
or the drive
or the brains to run their own business. Some people are way more comfortable being employees. And some people flourish more being employees than they do running a business. So for you to kind of down talk or talk down on a rapper who isn't independent, or for you to try to push that on a rapper who's not interested in that, it's also like you can't look down on them. They're more comfortable being employees. We need employees.
Yeah, just make sure you get yourself a lawyer.
Exactly.
Make sure you get yourself a lawyer that doesn't work for the label.
Exactly.
So you can read your contract and you know what the fuck is up.
Yeah,
because that's really what it is at the end of the day.
You don't have to be independent. You can be under a record label. Just
Drake has mad money and he's not independent.
You get what I'm
even
saying?
though before we even go, because that's another thing. You see, goddamn, Drake dropping music through Instagram. I feel that that's kind of,
it's on a website.
Yeah, but he then puts it on Instagram. Tool. But that's what I'm getting at, is that's kind of like brings back to what you were talking about, him moving on to being independent. Like, because that's something that I don't remember who it was that said, like, bro, why don't rappers just open up an app and that's where they drop their music? You have your own personal app, the Drake app, and you download the app, and that's where the music has. You have to pay a monthly or whatever the fuck. You see,
look at Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez recently dropped a song from jail. He turned it into a NFT, sold it for $1, made $1 million within an hour. All his money, no label behind it, no nothing. All his money.
And that's something the labels are scared about.
And this guy's in jail.
They're tying up.
This guy's in jail, rotting. You know what I mean? We don't know what the situation is.
When you know.
And he's still doing things like this from jail. So if he can do something like that from jail, imagine what you can do out in the streets with all this resources and all these things. It just goes back to what I'm telling you. Not everybody has the brains or the discipline to be a business owner.
Which
when
also
you're independent, you own your business.
Which also goes back to what we talked about, that there's 100,000 rappers and only 100 of them really know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly.
Because they actually care about what they're creating. They put their time and effort into it. Then all the other ones are just trying to catch up. They see the luxury and that's what they want. They're not thinking about the hard work, the good music, da-da-da. And I mean, the thing is that now you can even put, to me, mediocre music and people think is great.
Oh yeah,
people be hyped.
It's catchy.
People be hyped over some of the most terrible songs.
If it has a good beat, you can say whatever you want. The biggest example of this is Dembo, the Dominican Dembo. Oh. These niggas be saying the dumbest
whatever the fuck,
but it's catchy. And you be like,
it's because the beat just makes you dance.
You
it's really what it is, bro.
But it's not really exactly. Yeah. But it ain't really music. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
it's not music.
I already know Alpha Strick. After he dropped like 5 songs, you already know. Okay, bro, you're gonna pick 2 words that you're gonna repeat constantly for the hook, and then you're gonna say some little words here about fucking a bitch and your jeans being too tight.
It gets people turned. It's like what did Kanye say?
I mean, you have to make that type. You have to make that type of music. People are always gonna want to go party, and you need the shit that makes their ass move. It's facts.
But there used to be party music that just I don't know.
You think about merengue, salsa, bachata, the good times,
like it was
the good
actual
times.
music.
The good
It was
old
you
times.
actually needed to know something. You actually needed to have lyrics. You had to have.
I mean, there was also a time when R&B was
talent.
amazing.
It was
when R&B was just great. Now
Don't
it's
sleep
not that great.
Would it be European? I guess it would be UK R&B. They got some good artists out there in the UK.
I know about UK R&B. I know about UK rap.
They have a lot of good UK R&B singers that are actually like they make quality R&B music.
I'll have to check it out.
It's just that like it's different. I feel, and it's funny when you get to that because now I feel like these people, right, like in the UK and London and these places, they're kind of late to rap compared to us, but they're making better music because they're more rooted into what hip hop used to be.
Right. They're not just chasing after money.
Exactly. And we're on some like money, you know, like whatever's catchy, whatever's here, whatever's now, let's make new, you know, and they're more rooted into the true aspect of music. So that's why right now a lot of these foreign artists they're making better music than American artists.
You know Dave?
Dave.
It's a rapper from UK.
Now
so you're gonna when we done here, you definitely need to listen to him.
Yeah, I will.
Because that boy is good. Him, Central C is pretty good as well. So
that's the one dating Ice Spice, Lil Pumpkin.
I don't think they're dating. I think that was a publicity stunt for a single that they had together.
Okay.
Yeah,
kind of like Drake, Rihanna too.
I'm telling you, niggas just do anything to try to put movement on their music and shit.
I get you.
It's a damn shame. It's kind of embarrassing, but I mean, you do you. It's like Travis Scott when he decided to do that whole McDonald's thing. Hey man, McDonald's, get a special discount on my album or whatever the fuck it was that it was. But we're gonna leave it there, and hopefully we'll be back soon to give you guys some more rap domain.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy, J Mud, AP. Peace.
I don't know no better, cause I'm just out here trying to get the cheddar. And baby girl, I'm